Wanted to do a quick live. First of all, we are streaming, I think, to Facebook, to YouTube, to LinkedIn, and I think I got Instagram set up as well. So this is going to be a little test to make sure that things are working on Instagram. But also I want to drop a little bit of value to you if that's all right as well. So today, what we're going to talk about, we don't have a ton of time. I've got to hop on a call here in about 30 minutes. So I'm going to try to take care of all of this before the call. But today, what I want to talk about are 3 marketing tips for Black Friday. So we all know that Black Friday is coming up approximately a week from now. And I've been helping businesses kind of prepare for Black Friday for the last 3 years. And what I want to do is give you a tip or a couple tips, in fact, 3 tips. But here's what I want you to know from the beginning. 1, you don't have to be an e-commerce store to capitalize on Black Friday. So if you are an e-commerce brand, great, keep listening. I'm speaking to you. If you're in SaaS, great, I'm speaking to you. If you're a service-based business and you have an offer for Black Friday, then I'm speaking to you. So just kind of want to allow you to understand what are some good tips for Black Friday. Hello, I see we have live viewers already. I like doing this. I hope that you're going to find this useful. So, excuse me. Here we go. So there's 3 things that we're going to talk about today, and we're just going to hop in. So the very first thing that I think we need to talk about when we're talking about Black Friday is this. Now, this is just coming from my experience. So to date, I've spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on ads. So I'm just prefacing it with that, giving you a little bit of context, but here's the deal. When it comes to Black Friday, I think a lot of folks just think that like, hey, I'm just going to run ads. I want to run ads to people who've never heard about me before. And that might be okay. Okay. Definitely going to do that with some of the clients that I work with, because it's a good time to go touch new individuals. However, when it comes to Black Friday, I think a lot of people, and at least me, and I'm not sure if it's you, but if you have like, you're probably already following the brands that you want to snag a deal from on Black Friday, right? So what I'm kind of suggesting here in these 3 tips, I'm not suggesting to go out and try to find new customers. I think that you definitely can do that during this time, but I think your money is going to be best spent retargeting people, using your email, and then doing upsells. And I want to talk about each one of those. So let's first start off with retargeting and remarketing, because I think that is going to be where your good money is spent. So, retargeting and remarketing, for those of you who do not know what that is, it's putting your message back in front of people who've already been to your website. In e-commerce, maybe they've already entered the checkout sequence. Maybe they've added something to the cart. Maybe they've viewed your content. Maybe they've actually even purchased already. So one of the best ways to spend your advertising money this Black Friday is by targeting the people that you've already acquired, right? You don't have to go out and get somebody brand new into the funnel in order to really sell. So if you're in e-commerce, what I would suggest is this: like, yes, have an offer for the people that have already purchased before, and then target them. Target the people who've initiated checkout but didn't actually complete the purchase, or target somebody who's added something to cart. Target somebody who's viewed your product. And I'm going to kind of get into the specifics of all of this, but please understand what I'm not saying is just go spend money and try to get new customers. I think that's it's going to be pretty expensive running ads for this next week, because everybody is going to get in on this early. Everybody's either launched their ads or they're going to do it within the next few days. I've seen so many, things go even 2 weeks ago. It is my opinion, and that's all it is, and that's all this is worth, that maybe your money is not best spent going out and acquiring new customers. Now, you definitely can, and you should definitely keep your campaign separate so you know your ROI at the end of the day. But if you're going to be spending money this Black Friday, go dip into the people that you've already acquired, right? You've already spent money. You've already got them through your time or your energy, getting them to your website, getting them into your funnel. Stick with those people first. So if you're going to talk, we're going to hop into email marketing here in just a second. We're going to talk about upsells in a sec. But specifically for the next couple of minutes, I want to talk about retargeting. So how do you do this? So how do you go about creating these audiences? And this is what I want to show you next. Okay, it's on my screen. So here's how I would here's how I would put my message in front of individuals. So again, this doesn't have to be for e-commerce. This could be for SaaS. This could be a service-based product. As long as you have an offer to your audience, this will work. So what I would do first is build audiences in your, let's just use Facebook for an example. So you're going to want to go in and you're going to want to build a lot of different audiences according to two core things, right? How you think about retargeting is simply this: what is the event, and then how many days since that event occurred? Meaning this, let's use e-commerce for example, because it's easy to understand. Let's say that somebody added something to their cart 1 day ago. We're going to create the event of added to cart. How many days since that occurred? 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 or 7. You can go all the way up to 180 days since that occurred. Now, if you're a service-based business or you're a SaaS-based business, you're just going to want to say like a page view. They actually came to my website. They loaded a page on my website. We could do page view 2 days ago, page view 7 days ago. So what you're going to do is you're going to want to chunk these people out. And I'm just giving you an example on my screen. So for those on you on Instagram, you probably can't see over to the side. You can probably just only see the middle. If Instagram is working, this is just an experiment today. But the way that I've kind of done this is I've chunked this out. So you're going to build an audience for days 1 through 7. So let's say that you have a typical service-based business, and you are going to chunk the people who hit your website the last 7 days. And then you're going to have a chunk of 8 through 14. And then you're going to say, I want to target people 15 through 30. You're going to have 31 through 60, 61 through 90, 91 through 120, and 121 through 80. So here's why I'm kind of saying this. There's people who have come to your website in the past who are probably interested in your product or your service, but they just weren't ready, right? And so what you're going to do now is I can see, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's 7 different audiences. And this is just an example. So in your campaign, you're going to have 7 different ad sets, and you're going to be running the same ad at all of these individuals. But what you're trying to do here is you're trying to test your audiences. So what you're looking at here is you're looking at where is the most powerful audience for my offer? Is it people who visited 7 days ago? Is it people who visited between the window of 8 to 14 days, 31 through 60, 61 through 90. That's what you're really trying to find. So let me give you an example about this. So I was running a funnel for a client 2 years ago on Black Friday. And what we did was we first of all, we narrowed the demographic. We knew who it was. We knew that it was going to be grandparents. Now, these people had come to the website a lot of times, and they had run promotions at different times during the year. And so what we wanted to do is we already isolated who we thought would be the potential buyers. But now what we wanted to see is which pocket or which sliver was going to be the most effective in putting this, which pocket was going to be the best buyers. And so what we did was we chunked out days 1 through 7, days 7 or 8 through 14. And so we just kind of followed the buyer's journey of, hey, when did they visit our website? And so what that gave us was insight. So we gave it all equal budget, and we pushed this live. And what we started to see after a couple of days, and we were spending enough money to know like this. That's the beautiful thing about ads. You're just going to know real time. What we could see was like the 60 to 90 day visitors. So grandparents who visited this website 60 to 90 days ago were becoming the best buyers. They were actually clicking through and buying. And that gave us insight to push more budget into that little segment. So that's why I'm kind of saying what you want to do is you want to think about this in days since people came. So you're going to want to think about this as an event, and then days since the event occurred. That is a key to retargeting, if you can just think that way. And here's the other thing. You want to exclude people. So you're not going to want to, bucket everybody. That's not going to be your money best spent, because you're not going to be able to optimize your spend. Are you going to be able to reach these people? Yes, but you're not going to be able to optimize this. So if you're in e-commerce, then what I would do is I would say something like if they added something to cart, that could be your event. If they initiated checkout, that could be an event. If they viewed a product, that could be an event. If you're a traditional service-based business, just go ahead and target the people who've hit your website, or target the people who've hit your qualifying page. Normally your qualifying page is the page after somebody clicks your call to action, because they're a little bit more qualified than somebody who has not done that. So that's where I would start. And again, I want to reiterate this point one more time. It's okay to run ads to brand new people. We're definitely going to be doing that this Black Friday. But you're going to want to segment, or you're going to want to separate these campaigns so you know So you know your ROI when it comes down to these things. What you're doing is you want to know what pockets are going to be the most successful. So if you're running retargeting or you're running top of funnel ads. So that is number one. If you have a question on retargeting, remarketing specifically for this, go ahead and drop that in the chat right now. I don't see anybody chatting anything. So I'm going to move on to the second tip because, like I said, I got a call here in like 20 minutes. I need to prep for it. So, all right. Tip number 2. This, I feel, is going to be your best time, money, and energy spent. Well, it's not really money because you're not probably going to be spending too much. So people are waiting for you in their inbox. Okay. I'm a giant fan of paid ads because that's what I teach. That's what I preach. That's how I coach businesses. However, if you've already used paid ads, you've acquired customers. So what you want to do is you want to continue selling to those customers. And the best way to do that for next to nothing is always email. So please do not underutilize your email list this Black Friday. If you've got an offer, blast it out there because it's not going to cost you as much. Now, here's kind of a hack. If you want to only advertise if you want to run paid ads at your email list and email the folks, that's a great way to spend your money. Okay, if you've got a limited budget, only spend, so upload. So for example, Facebook integrates with MailChimp, or I should say MailChimp integrates with Facebook. So move all of your list into MailChimp, upload that or sync it. Or if you've got a CSV file, upload that to Facebook and only run ads at the people who are on your email list. And then what you can do from there is you can send them emails and you're running ads. So you really know the pocket that you're spending, that you're willing to spend money on. Now, if you have like one-time buyers, maybe that's not a good idea, right? If you have one-time buyers, then what I would do is I would take that CSV file or take all the purchasers that you've already had and then convert it into a lookalike audience. And you could run an offer at that on the top of your funnel. But like I said, you're going to want to focus the people who've already encountered your brand, who've already come into contact, who've already initiated a little bit of, who've already qualified themselves to some degree. Because here's the deal, like this is a good time to go acquire people looking for your product because maybe they've just been waiting this long. But again, you're probably already on their radar. It's going to take a lot of, it's going to take a really good offer if somebody sees like, hey, I'm just seeing this for the first time. I'm going to throw down on the deal. That's not the case. So I remember last Black Friday, I bought a course and I believe I spent $1,000 on the course. It was a great course. I would absolutely recommend it. However, I was in that funnel for a long time. I'm not just going to drop $1,000 on Black Friday because I see a good deal, right? And that was quite a hefty investment on my end because that's like, oh, okay, I'm going to drop some serious cash. Now, that has taught me a lot, and I've never regretted purchasing a course. That's all on the side. But I saw the offer through the email list because I was already on his email list. And then I saw it also on social. So that's the way that you're going to kind of want to ride these two things together. Yes, I had already been in this funnel. I had been on on this email drip. So he's not spending money on brand new people. Now, there's plenty of people who probably opted into it. I think, in fact, like he made a good chunk. I think he made 500 sales, which is not too shabby. 500 sales at $1,000 a pop is not a bad Black Friday deal. So once again, what I'm saying here is you can go spend money on acquiring new customers during Black Friday, but you would be way better off, at least in my opinion, and take that's what it's worth. It's worth not that much. Spend money where it's smartest. So again, one thing that I always preach in building funnels is you want to build from the bottom of the funnel up. You should advertise that way too. So people who have already opted into your funnel, hit them with emails, hit them with ads. The people who've kind of qualified themselves, maybe you don't have their emails yet. So that's where ads really, really benefit. If you have enough time, if you have enough money and you want to just try to kind of do a top of funnel play where you're trying to bring in fresh new traffic, you can do that. But all I'm telling you is your money is going to be better spent if you work it up this funnel, if you spend it up the funnel. So that is that. So to recap, we have talked about retargeting, and remarketing. Spend your money there first. Also, I would actually start my time and energy and efforts on my email list, and then I would work it up to the retargeting. And then last is this. Let me see if I have any no comments so far, which is fine. So the last thing is this, and this is easier said than done. If you have an upsell, then this is a great time to do it. So what I mean by that is, and you don't have to be in e-commerce, you don't have to have, I mean, this could be a traditional service-based offer. I don't know how you're making the deal, right? How you're closing the deal, how you're making the sale. But if somebody, is ready to buy, then have an upsell ready if you can, because these people are already committed to buying. Why not just ask them if they want this, additional X? And the large percentage of people will not. However, you would be surprised that a good percentage of people will want that upsell or will take you up on that. So that's just free revenue or free profit. It's not free. That's just revenue or profit at that point, because this person has already said yes, and then you're just adding on this upsell. So it's a great time to do it. You might as well try. If they say no, they say no. Like, the market will tell you whether it's a good upsell or not. But what you're doing is you're already just, you're presenting this offer, you're spending money to get people to this Black Friday deal. And then what you can do from there is you can present them with an upsell. If they find it valuable, great. If they don't, that's okay too. But at least you put out, this offer for them to kind of take you up on it. So again, like I said, that's probably easier said than done. But if you have an opportunity for an upsell, great. Now, it's a little bit harder with service-based businesses, obviously. If you have a digital program, like I do, then you could upsell them using like an additional checkout or additional page. So somebody buys and you redirect them to another page and you present them with another offer. ClickFunnels is really good for something like this, because they already have the credit card on record, so they don't have to put the credit card back in. If you are on Shopify or you're selling something like on e-commerce, there's other good apps for this as well. So the nice thing about this is somebody is already committed to buying. They've already put in their credit card. They've already said yes, and then they're just redirected to, hey, do you want this also? And like I said, a small percentage of people will probably take you up on it, but nobody would have taken you up on it if you wouldn't have put it out there. So again, it's just putting something out there, and then you also have to think of what a good upsell would be. So it's not for everybody, but that is one kind of more tip for your Black Friday experience. All right. John Morin, thanks for always chiming in, John. I do appreciate this. So a question. This is probably the only question I can ask, and then I get a bounce. What are your thoughts on using Facebook Messenger and chatbots in your retargeting campaigns? Yes, is the answer. Everything is worth an experiment is kind of what I would say. So it depends. So I think, John, I think the thing to remember is how you're going to capture this, right? How are you going to capture the sale? Definitely use chatbots before. Definitely use Facebook Messenger before. I like using Facebook Messenger quite a bit, and I use MiniChat most of the time as the chatbot. I feel like MiniChat's a really good way to go. It's $10 a Facebook page. It's really inexpensive, I think, to kind of learn on. But I think it's really valuable. So the nice thing about a chatbot, right? If somebody opts into your chatbot, one, you have more information from them. You have your first name, their last name, and you can kind of just like send them messages. So the nice thing about like the chatbot is you can create this automated sequence that once somebody opts in, it kind of just takes them down this flow. But like, it can just go right to your Facebook inbox and you can just talk to this person. So it's a really good way, I think, it's a really good way of starting a conversation with people. I think that's kind of it. Like, it's an automated sequence, but it's also a really good way to just kind of to start a conversation, because that's really what it is. I mean, I have of the split, I should say, of the same. So I've had campaigns with the same objective. And that is to either watch a webinar or to download my free e-course. I've used chatbots. And the nice thing about chatbots versus email is when somebody opts in with their messenger, you can just send them a message, right? And they're going to see it, and the open rates are insanely huge. Whereas if they opt in with their email, maybe it's not their real email, right? Now, they won't get my amazing email drip if they put in a fake email, but they will get access to whatever it is. So I would say if you can leverage Facebook Messenger and you can leverage a chatbot, do it. It's really not that hard to set up. There's tons of YouTube videos on there. There are a few technical components, but then here's one thing that I would definitely say. You're going to want to use Zapier. So when somebody does opt in via your chatbot, like you export all of that information into a Google spreadsheet, so you can see a lot more information there, and you can kind of just kind of continue the conversation there. You can upload that CSV to Facebook and continue to run ads. But like in general, I would say yes, if you can incorporate a chatbot or like mini chat into your remarketing and your retargeting, then do it. It might not always be a good fit though, but if you can, I would definitely try it because it's fun. It's automated. I feel like people like it. You have a better chance at actually engaging in a conversation, and you get pretty good data. So there's lots of reasons to use it. So that's a great question. Okay. So one more time, I'm just going to kind of breeze over these 3 tips for marketing on Black Friday. So the first one was remarketing and retargeting. Let me just go through this probably the way that you should. So I should have led with tip 2. So you should definitely leverage your email. Start sending emails, prep them, prepare them, get them going. If you have MailChimp, then connect that to your Facebook account so you can pre-market to these people on your email list prior to sending out an email, or just do it at the same time. That's going to be a really good bang for your buck. So that is where I would spend my money, time, all of that first. Again, it depends on your buyers. If they're one-time buyers or if they're repeat buyers, leverage your email first. Then I would say, then you start thinking up the funnel. Again, you're going to sell up the funnel. Always sell up the funnel because the intent is low down. The intent is low down in your funnel. Now, your intent is like, as somebody gets closer and closer to the purchase, if you qualify people along the way, these people are going to be your best targets. So retarget these people first. Then if you want an idea of how to segment these audiences, I would chunk them out in days since the event occurred. So if it was a page view, if they initiated checkout, this is a little tiny bit more technical, but it's totally doable. The way that I would interpret this is like, did they hit your website 7 days ago? Did they hit your website 14 days ago? Chunk that out and then run those as separate ad sets. And that's going to give you a good indicator of where to push in a little bit more. And then the last thing that I would say is if you have an upsell ready, if you can present this to your folks, then do it because they've already committed at this point. They've already purchased. If you can present them with a little bit more value or a kind of a good deal, right? Because that's what everybody's looking for on Black Friday, then put it in front of them. And that is that. So I will go to the chat one more time. Nope, there's nothing there. So here is the deal. Thank you for joining me. Today was mostly a test to see if I can get this streaming on Instagram as well. So like I said at the beginning of this, I'm on Facebook right now. I'm on YouTube, LinkedIn, and trying to experiment with going live via, I think it's a tool called Yellow Duck. So I'm broadcasting right now through Restream, but I have to connect a couple things to get onto Instagram because it's kind of difficult to, I don't want to like be holding up my phone and doing live on Instagram, but I know there's a giant audience on Instagram. And so that's kind of why I wanted to test this today. So anyways, what I want to end with is this. If you have any questions, if you're seeing this, if you're seeing previously recorded, then go ahead and type your questions below. I'd love to address them in the next time that I go live. I try to go live 2 or 3 times a week now. So if you have questions about Black Friday or just questions about retargeting, remarketing in general, email, or questions like John, these are great questions. Facebook Messenger, chatbots, retargeting, like I like to do all of this. I've spent a long time in this game. I've worked with e-commerce, SaaS, and service-based, so most likely I can probably answer your question. So that is that. All right, I got to prep for a little podcast that I'm going to be on. And what I would encourage you to do is if you're watching this recorded, go ahead and drop a comment in there and I can address it on the next time that I go live. Thank you, John. Thank you to the others who have watched and commented during this little live session. I hope you all have a great weekend and I will talk to you soon.